Welcome to the doghouse. It's going to work. Sorry about that. I'm always slow getting things set up. One day I'll learn how to do it right. But until then, I hope you're all having a great day and welcome from the world's greatest place in the world, the doghouse. This is going to be about lies and bullies, and both go hand in hand together, as you know, and they really do. We sometimes think they're separate, but they're not. Bullies have a tendency to hate themselves and will try to take everybody down with them because that's just how they are. We've never figured out how to control a bully and probably never will. Bullies will always be bullies, and you can have 100 reasons why a person is a bully: family, friends, things that's happened to them in their lives. But regardless of what it is, they have to take the responsibility for it. And that doesn't happen a lot, but that's what needs to happen. I'm not an expert on a bully. I was really never bullied as a kid, and I didn't bully either. We all have our ups and downs growing up. And yeah, you see bullies around all the time. And I think most of us have been attempted to be bullied in some sort or another. But it really never happened to me as far as it playing out, whether it was me not letting it or just ignoring it. Sometimes I'd ignore it if somebody did try that. But so I really don't know, as far as a bully goes, exactly how they feel with inside because I've never lived it. It's just not something you think about you would live, or or it's there and in your mind you know it's there, but you're not going to go down that road. You're going to deny it exists, but it's out there, and it happens to a lot of people, unfortunately, but it does. And a liar is no different than a bully. All of them have the same attributes as each other. A bully will lie through their teeth to get what they want and how they want it. So a lie to a bully is the truth. In a bully's mind, if he is lying, he is telling the truth. No, there's no such a thing as your truth. It's either the truth or not. So when the bully is trying this, he is actually lying. He has no spine because he's a bully. A bully, if you confront a bully, even on here, there are a lot of bullies that try to get on the internet. But if you confront a bully, he says a certain thing out there, and you prove him wrong, he will not admit it. He will reverse it around. It could be criticizing you, can be making fun of you, but he will not admit he was wrong. And this is something that does happen a lot too. I've seen it happen a lot. And it's not going to stop. It's not me. It's so many others out there that this happens to. And we don't see it. I mean, we see it, don't get me wrong, but we ignore it. A bully and a liar we like to ignore because we don't want to go down that trail of being that type of person. And we really don't. We don't want to go in there and be the bully. So we ignore it. But guess what? That bully still exists. That bully went nowhere. And we, for whatever reason, and I've done it too, seen a bully and walked away, and the person's going through hell because of the bully, and we will not say nothing. Anybody that says they've never did that's probably lying to you. But let's take an example on here of somebody on here, and I've grown to like them. I've never personally seen them and probably never will. They're not only being bullied on cyber, but they are being bullied in person for something the other person doing the bullying started, and his excuses why he does it and her excuses why they do it does not make no sense. Zero sense at all. But they will get followers to follow them. And here's the thing about that: you can go get people to follow you. It's a pretty easy thing to do. That if you're not low level person, because I don't believe in that. My classification, if you want to be a low class person, because if you're doing it with the money, but let's say there's somebody out there that just needs your help and you won't do anything about it because he's getting bullied or she's getting bullied. And the sad thing about it is the people out there bullying usually are the ones that has the problem, not the other way around. It's usually the problem of the bully or the liar. Sometimes, and most of the time, they're the same thing. How many times have you seen on here somebody say something that there is no way this person could even remotely believe it, but yet will lie and say it's the opposite? And they know what they're doing is wrong. It just amazes me how many people will do that and how many people somebody that's a bully and a liar can get to follow them. It's to me, and I mean, there's a whole bunch of different things on that, but the people that do that usually have low self esteem, or are lazy in the way that, and it's happened to me on here, be called not doing research or whatever. And I'm not the greatest person to do research. I will look when I see it, somebody else has put it up. Or if I have a question, I just go to Google. I need to do it more. I admit that. But this one person, don't know if it's a man or a woman, it don't really matter, got on here and called me a liar about something I didn't do my research. Then I said, go Google it. It's the first one that comes up. And you know what happened? Then he or she changed it to make it look like a whole different ball game because they knew they didn't, although they accused me of not doing research when I called it out where, they didn't want to deal with it. So they changed the attitudes around. And they'll do that. They'll constantly do that. Maybe it's in our blood. If we're going down that trail, we would do that. But how many of you in life have seen a bully or somebody that is constantly lies? And believe me, I know several people that are would be considered a compulsive liar because that's what they are that I've been around. I got a neighbor that if he said 10 minutes of stuff, 3 to 6 minutes of it would be lies or exaggeration, which is also a lie. And I'm sure every one of you been through stuff like that, and it's out there. It's amazing what happens. And you can't go and destroy people's lives because you're a bully. Technically, they do, but they shouldn't. And a lot of these bullies, not all of them, but a good part of these bullies will say they're a Christian or a religious person. Don't have to be a Christian, but a religious person. And they believe in the Bible and they believe in this. and they're the first ones that'll go out there, tell lies, and be the bully. This is a constant thing that happens. It's nothing unusual that this happens. People out there know it happens, and a lot of times they just ignore it. You cannot ignore good people. If they are getting bullied, maybe you should look into why they're being bullied. Because a bully don't need an excuse. They really don't. A bully, the last thing in the world he wants is you to be kind, loving, and your soul be full of love. He don't like that. So he will tear you down. He don't really care about you. Even if he calls you his friend, or they get a group of people that will back them, that person really don't care. They're going to use them and throw them away. And this isn't one person. This is how a bully usually works. And they really do work that way because they don't want you to know what they're really like, but they want you to know how much they hate what you are doing, which sounds kind of contradicting, but in their minds, that's exactly what they want to do. And a liar is no different. I know a person, if you sat right there with them and you seen them 100% the exact same thing as this other person did, I 100% guarantee you his story would turn into a lie because it might have not been as dramatic. And we all know people that do that. And that's where the bully and the liar comes together. A snake oil salesman may be more of a liar than a bully, but he's going to push you into doing something you don't want to do to get his medicine. A snake oil salesman will do that. And it'll happen all the time. A snake oil salesman knows that what he is doing is a lie. That's back then. We have other things now, from what they see on the internet to whatever, that they will turn it into a lie. And a lot of times they're turning it into a lie for the dollars. The dollars will come really, really important to them. And them dollars will come out, excuse me, them dollars do come more important to them than anything else. And they're willing to go out there and do whatever it takes, lie, cheat, steal, even be a bully to other people, so they gain the prestige of being right. And a bully, that's really what he wants to do, is be right. He don't want to be wrong, so he's going to do everything in his power to be right. And you're just not going to stop him. You can't stop him from that mindset. Now, remember, you it's up to you whether you want to be the bully or not. You can't blame it on anybody else. You can blame maybe your feelings getting hurt from what a bully does or what you do, but a bully 100% lies up on you if you want to do it. The liar is the same way. It's up to you whether you want to or not. All of us lie in some form or another at times. Sometimes we don't even realize it because we will get into that uh, bigger than now thing that really never happened, but you exaggerate it to make it look good. And we'll do that. Most of us don't do it hardly at all, but on occasion it'll come out that way. Think about it. Do you not believe that? You know, I'm not a bully. I don't plan on being a bully. I just plan on being who I am and doing what I do. I'm not going out there pointing my fingers at anybody, but a bully does exist. I'm not pointing it at anybody because everybody has to see that. Everybody has to see what a bully and a liar is. It's up to you if you will recognize it or not. And that's part of the problem is we don't. We turn our back so much on bullies and liars, it's unreal. Whether we mean to or not, we do. We have to get beyond that. Bullies shouldn't be put on a pedestal at all. They should be taken down to the level they are. They think they have to be a bully to be who they are. Even though I do know there's reasons that person is a bully, one thing that I hear all the time when people are justifying a bully that how he was raised or whatever. But when you're old enough, you know better, and it's up to you to change that. No one else. It's not an excuse. Being a bully is not, well, it's an excuse. It is not a reason. So you can't go in there, everybody, and make excuses for them. You are actually helping them out when you do that. I grew up around several, well, I won't say who on here because somebody might be on here that knows this person. He was a couple of years ahead of me in school. He had long bus rides. He didn't bully me really, but he'd bully other people and just put them down and that. Later on in life, after I was out of school and he definitely was out of school, his attitude wound him up in jail for unaliving two people. True story, it did happen. But his tendency, I'm not saying every bully and that does that, but that is one step that is out there that does happen when you're a bully and a liar. How many of you has been out there and just seeing people, all they do is lie. They can't even tell the truth if they wanted to. And this is what I'm getting at. Sometimes they're both the same person. A bully will lie, a liar will try to be a bully. Because you call out a liar, you know, he is going to make excuses about the lie and put you down. And he is going to become that bully because you stood up to him and showed him that that was a lie. Also, you can throw in a narcissist in it too. All three of them really are in one boat in a lot of ways. Some are more extreme than the others, but it's there. And if you're being bullied, don't let them bully you. What when you get older, you probably handle it better than when you're younger. And like I said, I wasn't bullied as a kid, so I don't understand 100% what they go through, only that it's bad and not good. And why do you want to go down that road? Why do you want to be that bully and just go out and try to destroy that person's life? Why is it so important for that bully to do that? It's just wrong. I don't care if I like a person or not. Bullying is not acceptable. So much bullying goes on anymore. They call them keyboard warriors a lot, but they're still a bully on the internet. They care less about you. They just care about their stoking their ego. They don't care if they're lying. They don't care who they hurt or destroy. and they don't. You're just in their way, and they're going to get you out of their way one way or other. They're going to embarrass you. They want you to quit posting. They'll want you to quit saying anything. They'll want you to do 100 things to stop you. And they're the ones that are at fault. So why would you even think about being a bully or want to be a bully? Why is it so important for you to think a bully is a good thing? Most of you don't, but there's a few out there that do. Why is it that important to you to do something like that? Why do you want to go down that road? That's just a question I have. Why would somebody want to go down that road to be a bully? I mean, you're going to not like people in life. That's just how it is. You're not going to like some of the things they do. That does not mean that justifies you being a bully. Why go down that road? That's what I don't get. Why does somebody really want to go down that road and be that way? I wished I knew. I mean, I read things and I've seen things, but 100% why they are a bully, I don't know. All I know is they're the ones that's responsible for their own actions. And they are, and nobody else. We like to play the blame game, and we like to justify when somebody does something wrong, but it's not justifiable. I don't care if it's your brother, sister, aunt, uncle, it's all wrong if it's a bully. It doesn't matter who it is. A bully should never, ever be put on a pedestal. And so many times people want to put them on a pedestal. It's sick and wrong. That's like when you know something is wrong, even on here, and they'll come on here or other places and make you look, or Facebook's another bad one, to make you look bad, lie, uh, just flat out lie about what you're doing. This is another reason why a liar and a bully are the same things. Telling that lie out there about somebody does make you a bully. You're trying to convince people of something that don't exist. Why? Because you're a bully. You don't care if you have to lie, you're going to do it. You refuse to be that good person that don't go out and bully. Most of you don't. Like I said, I'm not accusing anybody here of being a bully. I'm just saying this is what the bullies do. Most people, even on here, I've seen are really good people. I might not agree with them all the time, but they're really good. I get, I get along with somebody if you sit down on a religious aspect would probably be different, but that's okay. I don't care about that. But we're not going to bully each other because we might not agree on it. And so many people, that's what starts a lot of people getting to be a bully is stuff like that. It doesn't matter of religious belief or anything else. God's not going to protect you if you're on this earth being a bully, if you believe in God. If you don't believe in God, it don't matter because nobody in the end will protect a bully. They will get what they have coming to them. But the people they're willing to take down with them is just astronomical. I feel for the people that have to put up with this 100% of the time of their lives. They get be made bullies out of, and it's just not right. And I don't care if I know them or not. Nobody has a right to bully somebody. If you disagree with them, you disagree with them. You can do that without being a bully. You're not going to agree with everybody all the time anyway. But that don't give you an excuse to bully that person. That don't give you the excuse that you're right, they are wrong because they said something you do not like. That's exactly what a bully does. If he doesn't like what you're saying or she don't like what you're saying, they will go after you tooth and nail because you do not agree with them. And that's where the lying comes in because they don't because the bully don't believe in you or hate what you said, they will lie to convince others what you were doing was wrong. And in their heart, they know they are wrong, but they don't care. A lot of these bullies make money, some don't. You know, I can go outside here and look around the neighborhood and know a couple of people that would like to bully people or do. They they're broke. They don't have money. I don't have a lot of money either, but it does not matter money when it comes to bullying. It's just if you have money, you get to bully better than the ones without because then you can use excuses all the time at that point, if you're the bully. Oh, well, he didn't agree with me, so he's wrong, and I'm going to prove it, and he's out lying. Why? Why is it so important to be a bully? Why do people want to be bullies? See, I just don't get it. I don't get the concept of why it's so important if you're a bully. You're not a prestigious person. You're not out there doing anything good for anybody. You're out there not only destroying others, you're destroying yourself within yourself. And you do this on a constant basis if you're the bully. A bully is just a piece of garbage thinking he's cute. And I don't mean looks, but he thinks what they're doing is cute and they're above everything else. And I don't get it. I don't get why people are willing to do that to others. Why is that so important to them? I bet you every one of you knows or sees some bullies around you. And remember, it can be family members that are bullies. Just because they're part of your family, don't mean they're not a bully. And they'll show you at all costs that they are a bully and they're better than you. Friends will do the same thing, co workers. They all think, a lot of them, that bullying is the only way to go. Love and peace is not the way to go to them. You're in their way if you're the one that's for love, peace, and love people. They hate that. Bullies and liars hate people like that. And one of the reasons a liar don't like people like that, because they don't want to be called out for their lies. And that's where the bullying comes in again. But they don't like to be called out for their lies. They don't like to be questioned. And you're just in their way for the greater gain of themselves, not the people around them or anything like that, because they care less about you, your feelings, or anything else. A bully's life is a life of misery, not only to the people he pushes around or tries to push around, it's to himself. Regardless of what happened to him or her in their lives that made them bully, sometimes it's nothing that anybody did, they just do it. But either way, they are still responsible for their actions. Yes, they're all responsible for their own actions. I can't believe how many people out there still think a bully's a cool dude. A bully is not a cool dude. And yeah, being a bully does sell. Look at pro wrestling. If there wasn't bullies, everybody wouldn't stop watching it. You think maybe there's a reason there are bullies out there, or wrestling and bullies? Yeah, kind of obvious, because we all know that without that discontent and hate and being a bully, the wrestling world wouldn't exist. So being a bully does make money, doesn't make it right. You're a low life if you give up human decency to be a bully and a liar for your pocketbook. People make all kinds of money without doing that. It's a shortcut to making money. It really is. And people are willing to take that shortcut. That's a shame that that happens. But they will do it on a constant basis. Please, people, don't be a bully. Be that good person you know you are. Love the world. Love things around you. Please don't go down that road of a bully or a liar. Don't be that person that has to lie to get ahead. Don't don't let a bully push you around or a liar, because in the end they lose, you win. So don't go down that trail. Be that good person. Be that loving person. Be that person that stands up to the bully. Thanks.